It is time for One Soccer Today for this Wednesday, January the 17th. Gareth Wheeler is back. Jordan Wilson and Oliver Platt are still here, and I am, of course, Adam Jenkins, and Gareth is ignoring Jordo's high five. You can tell we are still
I was trying to figure out which way to go.
We just put you in a different box every show to try and make sure that high five never happens smoothly. We're going to start the show, gentlemen, with a little CPL talk, as we love to do, and I'm going to ask you guys this. Gareth is famous for his appropriately timed and way too early power rankings. We're not quite there yet because the rosters are under construction. So we're going to do what we can and instead go with the best offseason move so far. Could you make a shout for 15-year-old Grady McDonald, who just signed with the Vancouver FC side? Sure you could, but I don't know that that's where we're going to start the program. But congratulations to the native of Surrey, BC. Oliver Platt, you are up first with your best offseason move.
Okay, I'm going to go with one that's fresh in the minds, maybe a little bit of recency bias, but the more I think about this one, the more I like it. And it's Toby Waszewski coming back to the CPL to play for Cavalry. I just think this guy's a good player. I'll give you a couple of stats here. That there's been 37 individual seasons in the CPL where a player has had 10 or more goals and assists in that single campaign. So over 4 full seasons, that's under 10 players a year. It's not a lot of players that hit that mark. Waszewski hit it in both years he was here. And he did it with an FC Edmonton team that finished 7th and 8th during his time at the club, not always getting a ton of service and a ton of help. He's also only one of 10 players who's ever had multiple seasons with 10 goals and assists in the CPL. And that is a list of, the premium attacking players we've seen in this league. So I like his qualities. I like the fact that he's big and strong, but he's got some pace as well. His feet are good. He can score goals, create goals. I think the question with Waszewski, he can score spectacular goals like this. This wasn't the only one. Can he score in a bigger quantity now that he's playing for a Cavalry side where he's got Musi, Camargo, Akio, so much Fraser Aird, so much quality and service around him to supply him with chances like this. So I'll be interested to see if he can take his game to another level. But the player, the versatility, the fit with Cavalry, I really like it. And I think he could make a big impact.
The Swiss Army knife.
To go out and proclaim Jordan Wilson that Tobias
hold
Waszewski,
on.
He stays healthy. What do you mean? Come on.
No,
He's back and already interrupting the show. Come on, take it. Put him up. Put him big.
Can we all just point out how wrong Oliver Platt is here? You're telling me the best signing so far in the Canadian Premier League is a player that's not even going to start for the team. He's not even a starting player. What are you talking about? How can that be the best signing so far? Is he going to start over Meyer Bevan? He's going to start over Meyer Bevan. No.
Play with him. He can play 10. He can play on the wing. He can play up front.
He's not starting. He's not a starter for that team. Not a starter.
I think you could. I don't know. Bevan's a very good player.
I rate him, but there are bona fide starters who are signing who have already signed for other teams. You're telling me that
the bar is high.
A backup striker is the best signing so far.
He's not a backup striker. Wheels.
I don't know.
Yes, he
is.
Swiss
Army knife. This guy.
He's the Joe Mason replacement. He's a
backup striker the way Wubens Pacius was a backup striker for Forge. Yes, they've got options.
No.
He is a starting quality player.
Nonsense. Jenko's got my back. I know it.
No, I don't. Because if Tobias Waszewski stays healthy and plays at least 22 games, he is finishing top 5 in the CPL in goal contributions. He is that good. It may be higher. So I just don't know the guy's fitness. I rated this guy with the Eddies, and I rate him now. I think he's going to be a great pick. Okay, Jordan, who do you got?
So, again, Halifax Wanderers don't really say who they've signed until January 31st. I think this is something that should change because Giorgio Probo he retweeted a story by Josh Healy, the fact that he's already signed and he's welcome to go to Halifax. And we just want to talk about players going to their club. I don't want to wait till February to talk about it. If you sign, I want to talk about it now. So everything is pointing to the fact that he signed outside of the fact that Halifax Wanderers have made it public. But this kid, for a city and for a club that loves a number 10, if you're going to have someone replace it, yes, I want to say this. João Morelli, if you're going to have someone replace it, it is Giorgio Probo. Number 10 for Creighton in the past 2 years, had 5 goals, 22 assists. If you're looking at someone to blend in with Caligari in the midfield, make an Aiden Daniels better, provide goals, provide a tiki-taka football that we've all grown to love with this Halifax side, this is Probo. This is guy. I haven't spoken with Patrice yet. We've been playing a bit of cat and mouse, and he's been hiding. But I know he's elated with this signing because if you could build a player, it is Pro Bowl with the work rate, the way that he's 24, but he hasn't been in the professional environment, but of Italian descent and knows how to play that football. He is going to thrive under this side, and I think he's going to be, if I had to put numbers for the year, I'm going to say at least 10 assists. I said it, and maybe about 3-4 goals, but he's that number 10 that they need, that little missing piece up there. So if they can get a striker, Halifax Wanderers are looking very dangerous. This is a huge signing for them.
Halifax goes back to Creighton like they had done with Callum Watson. You get an Atalanta youth player. And hey, it's looking a lot more Italian in the Maritimes. Gareth, unless you want to blame that pick for being for being overrated because he hasn't even played a professional game yet, how about you tell us all, set the record straight on who the best CPL offseason signing is?
Still not the signing of the offseason. Could be a better one than Toby.
So far.
I like Toby. I just love how they just brush off the fact that Toby will not start ahead of Bevan, Manusi, Akio, Camargo. What's wrong with you guys?
Give me a 3-4-3 and
Cavalry. Like these guys are their hipster picks. Let's go with an award winner, someone that's proven themselves in this league and fitting a need as well. That's Mateo DeBrienne going from Valor to Atletico Ottawa, a hometown kid. And no, it seemed like a slam dunk that this was a marriage that simply was going to happen. But the fact that it has happened, it's created a little bit of buzz, and it provides some youth, some athleticism across the back line down the left-hand side for Atletico Ottawa that were in desperate need of it. Like, they had Malcolm Shaw playing this role effectively at times this season, but DeBrienne's a player who's exciting to watch, a player with a bright future. Again, fits this club to an absolute T. There has been no better move in the Canadian Premier League this offseason thus far than Mateo DeBrienne joining Atletico Ottawa. Award winner going to a new club. That's a significant move.
I'll agree with you that Mateo DeBrienne belongs.
Of course you will. You can't disagree with that.
For sure. You can't disagree with that. If you're going to talk about a game changer, Wojciechowski is far more of a game changer than Mateo DeBrienne. Come on, Wheels.
Shout out Jordan Knight.
Going down the left-hand side. Mateo, but Wojciechowski, I've been on the wrong end of it. He can change a game like that with an assist or with a goal. You've even called it as one of the goals of the season when he did the bicycle. He is that player. He will start.
I'm not hating on him. I'm just questioning how you say he's a signing of the offseason. It's insane.
He is. He's up there.
I like him.
He has to be.
The best team just got better.
He's not even the best signing for that team. Diego Gutierrez also signed for Cavalry. That's great, a better signing too.
That's a great signing. I don't know if
I don't.
Okay, gentlemen, we're not going to come to a resolution.
To make that kind of difference, they're at a premium in this league. They're not easy to find. Wojciechowski's proven he's done it twice.
3 very good shouts, but all of this conversation might not be worth anything in just a couple of days. Because if we can put up the tweet from the chief executive officer of Atletico Ottawa, Fernando Lopez, who just riled up the fan base. As per the outcry aroused in the nation's capital regarding the return of the player Balou Tabla, I would be willing to give him a call if we hit 150 likes. This is at 93 right now, the time of the screenshot. I imagine it'll satisfy that requirement by the end of the day. Look, Fernando is very good at the media game. He's been in fun public spats with Derek Martin of the Halifax Wanderers about who has the best fan base in the CPL, and Fernando does a really good job connecting with the supporters. I don't think he's putting that out there if something is not close or could be close. So if in this world where Balou Tabla returns to the nation's capital, Ottawa, the nation's capital of Ottawa, Gareth, we know how much you rate the player. Would that become the signing of the offseason?
No doubt. Slam dunk. Take that ball to the hoop. I mean, this isn't typical behavior, by the way, from a member of the executive of a club, unless they know something that we don't. I think that Fernando is in full push mode. Those season's tickets, they're selling. This wouldn't help that or hurt that if Balou Tabla lands. Look, I don't know what the situation is right now in our nation's capital, but if they do bring Balou Tabla back, oh boy. Reunited Bassett and Balou in the central midfield, adding DeBrienne. Look out. This team knew that this offseason was going to be critical for them. There was this weird vibe at the end of the season where there was all these apologies being made. that just shows you how high or how much higher that bar is being set in Atletico Ottawa. They were great off the field. They know that they need to sort things out on the field. They're bringing back Carlos Gonzalez, reuniting him with the most electric player just in terms of his performance 2 seasons ago in the Canadian Premier League. This would be a slam dunk, a statement of intent. And by these moves that have been made would automatically just push them into that top tier of teams in the Canadian Premier League. No doubt.
Wheels, we covered almost nearly all the games together. And it was honestly one of the highlights of my year. Yes, I did get married last year, and I'm still putting that up there.
Hanging out with me.
But look,
well done.
Hanging out with the
getting married.
Look at that. It's like right there. It's up there, right? I'm definitely going to get hit tonight. But look, how many times, if we had $10 for every time we said the name Balou Tabla, we could take a year off, buddy. Go somewhere warm. We talked about him all the time, the missing piece of Balou Tabla, what he could provide for Atletico Ottawa, what he brings. That's something that you can't coach. If he signs, this is by far the biggest move, and you already just bump Atletico Ottawa up 2 spots. They have to be a playoff team. This guy, every game he played last year, slicing, dicing. I remember playing against him and not being able to get close to him. Like, when you know he's going to make a move, you just kind of lay off of him, hoping that you could catch up. Because if you bite, he's blowing by you. He was that player. And there are not too many players in the CPL where you're like, you know what, they could go so much further by watching them play. You're like, yeah, you can maybe play at a high level, but for him, you're like, he could go wherever he wants to go because he just has something that you can't coach. He plays for Atletico Ottawa. It's something that the fans would love, but as a fan of the league and watching it, he would be adored if he could come back and play for them.
We're just talking about the fact that we've had 12 minutes of the show, Alan. We've shown 2 bicycle kicks.
It's great goals in the season.
And I got balloons now, apparently.
Why? What was that?
Well,
is it your birthday?
I don't know.
Like,
thank
like
you.
Mario
I guess
Kart or something
the Mac OS update is just balloons. Anyways.
That was a real quick. There they are.
I'm going to turn that off while Ollie gives us a good answer.
Balloon Tabla. He by the end of 2022.
Sorry, go on.
At the end of 2022, he was the best player in the league, in my opinion. So this is the one thing you can never accuse.
Bold take there, Ollie. Bold take.
Yes.
Thank you, Wills. Appreciates it. I'm going to take that at face value. This is the one thing you can never accuse Atletico Ottawa of not doing is not responding to a setback, right? Like, they don't always get it right. They haven't always got it right. But after 2021, they made big changes, substantial changes, won the regular season, had another disappointing year last year. And again, you can see the aggression in their moves, bringing in Debrienne, now maybe Balou Tabla on the table here as a possibility. So that's exciting for sure.
I will say that for my money, they still have the most talented goalkeeper in the Canadian Premier League under contract right now, and the offseason is young. The center back hole still makes me a little nervous, but the return of Balou would go a long way in shoring up this team. Lots of time. It is January 17th after all, and we imagine the season's not going to start for at least a couple more months. So, hey,
3
time
months
for Fernando Lopez. I said a few
away.
months. 3 months. My God, I don't do math very well. I'm just a balloon guy.